So we get back to Alachua County, Chris. You know, we've got a couple of teams still looking for their first win of the season. PK Yonge and both of them St. Francis as well.
Sure, yeah. Now, an enterprising coach will look for anywhere for help that he can. For St. Francis, that means using a female place kicker for the past couple of years. Cassidy Hill tells us that Lexi Scott just wants to play her part.
For kickers, there is an unseen path the ball must follow from their foot through the uprights. For St. Francis kicker Lexi Scott, a female playing in a man's world, that path has not been easy.
It's been a long road. I really don't know why I stuck with it. I think I just love football so much that it's the only way my parents would let me play.
She works extremely hard. She's as competitive, if not more competitive, than a lot of the guys on the team.
Oh, I can do that.
With a competitiveness that helped Lexi stay the course, she heads into her third year as a starter and a path that's become much straighter.
Move back to Class 1A. We got Cleveland Indians, the first team receiving votes in the rankings, so that actually means that they're 6th in the state if you're counting.
Yeah, not bad. And getting major contributions, of course, from running back Deshaun Rolensack. He scored 3 touchdowns last week under the toughest circumstances possible. His mother, Tammy Jenkins, passed away just a few days before that game. Cassidy Hill tells us that Deshaun has made it his mission to persevere.
1 Mississippi. It takes Chiefland running back Deshaun Rollins approximately 4.4 seconds to run 40 yards. His life can also change in that short of time.
Deshaun Rollins, he's playing this game in memory of his mom, who actually just passed away earlier this week.
And then it kind of like snuck up on me because I went home, I realized that I would never see my mama again.
2 Mississippi. Even with her passing, Deshaun's mom left him with a plan, a promise, and a goal.
And here are the captains going to the center of the field.
One of her last requests was finish football, graduate high school, and he did a lot of it just to make her proud.
3 Mississippi.
Because we got a school record here, 6 touchdowns a game. I was going to try to beat the record just for her.
4 Mississippi. Touchdown, Deshaun Rollins.
We've got another non-district but huge rivalry game taking place in North Central Florida tonight. Chiefland, the number 3 team in the state in Class 1A, taking on the Trenton Tigers, who are only 10 miles away from each other, and they're receiving votes as well. So with 2 schools that close to each other, TV20's Cassidy Hill tells us there's even some family ties going on in this game.
It could be called the battle for Highway 129. Trenton and Chiefland are separated by only 10 miles, making this a familiar rivalry. For 2 players, though, it's also a familial rivalry. Chiefland's Peyton Parnell has already faced his cousin, Trenton's Brooks Parrish, once this year in the Class 1A Baseball State Championship, joined by then Trenton senior Hunter Parrish.
There can only be one winner, and that's Trenton.
They're family, so I love them to death, and I think we'll all get past it. But
they did get past it, and Brooks let the hardware do the talking.
Baseball, it kind of stayed quiet, but we kind of tried to make it visible. It was nice.
Now Chiefland comes into tonight's game looking for some redemption, and thanks to their positions, Peyton will have the opportunity to do some silent talking of his own with his cousin.
We'll line up against each other quite a few times.
The cousins won't let any backyard memories get in the way of the school's game, though.
It's just another week.
I just look at it as a game, stay focused, and do my job.
But in true family rivalry style, bragging rights will be cherished. And as this family has already shown, that doesn't require any words.
Probably nothing, just look at him and smile.
Thank you very much, Cassidy. So now we head out to the field. We see the 2 cousins that we just saw, Brooks and Peyton, getting ready for the action. So, you know, let's stay in Class 1A because the Newberry Panthers are not playoff bound, but they feel like they've got their coach of the future.
Well, Kepa Sardui took over the team this year, or more accurately, the team picked Sardui to lead them. TV20's Cassidy Hill describes the democratic and, dare I say, patriotic process that made Sardui the head coach.
The electoral system was put to good use in Newberry this year as those patriotic Panthers exercised their democratic right by voting in first-year head coach Kepa Sardui.
It was a very short letter. It said something to the effect of, we want Kepa Sardui as our head coach.
There were other candidates, sure, but only one that mattered, and like any good political team, they campaigned for him.
We didn't really want them to even be considered, honestly, just because we knew who we wanted.
People would talk about, hey, who's going to be the new coach next year? We'd be like, you know, it's going to be, we hope it's going to be Sardui.
The Panthers have a chance to close with a winning season tonight thanks to their chosen leader.
As soon as they voted me in, it was time to work, and they didn't get any special treatment or anything like that.
The opportunity came up for me to come back, and I couldn't resist it, so I went back to go do what I love.
Tells us about the journey of being a walk-on the Florida Gator football team right after this. Spring practice starts up for the Florida Gator football team in less than 2 weeks. Head coach Will Muschamp has a mantra for his team of man down, man up. TV20's Cassidy Hill tells us how former Gator long snapper Chris Guido put this into practice when he least expected it.
For about 7 or 8 months, I didn't once think that I would be back on the football team.
After a lifetime of longing to be a Gator, this was an unusual statement for Chris Guido, as the Altamont Springs long snapper has a former Gator for a father and started snapping in 3rd grade, dreaming of one day doing the same in college.
I never thought it would take me this far, but I hoped for it.
That hope brought him 3 years on the Florida roster before injury struck, and he also knew it was time to start preparing for his future as a doctor.
I wanted to get ready for what I was going to be doing the rest of my life.
He closed the door on Florida Field and stepped into Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. But as the Gators kicked off their 2012 season, he realized something wasn't right.
It felt different. I'd much rather be on the field, and I felt that inside. I didn't tell anyone.
He didn't tell anyone for days, even after Drew Ferris, the snapper who took Chris's place, broke his collarbone. But while sitting in Knoxville watching his Gators take on the Vols, Chris remembered something Coach Muschamp had told his team.
And we've always talked about man down, man up.
Man down, man up. You know, that's how we've been playing it the whole year, you know.
And I was just watching the game, and I said to myself, being out there, I could help fill in for Drew. I could help the team out.
The following week, Chris went to see special teams coach DJ Durkin.
You know, I apologize for leaving the team before. I hope you can understand the reasons why I did it.
The next day, he was back at practice and then starting versus LSU. He finished his senior season with his teammates and still has no second thoughts about the time he spent away from them.
Definitely no regrets. I've seen it all. I was a normal student. I joined a fraternity. I played football for 4 years.
4 years, but that last one will be remembered when he epitomized everything Coach Muschamp had been preaching. Man down, man up. Cassidy Hill, WCJB, TV20 Sports.
While most players in the NFL are taking time off before training camp begins, former Gator David Nelson is planning his next trip to Haiti. TV20's Cassidy Hill has more.
For Florida Gator fans, David Nelson's name is synonymous with one of the greatest moments in the football program's history.
Lofted into the end zone, touchdown Nelson!
The former wide receiver helped the Gators capture 2 national championships and is now with the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. But as the 26-year-old continues to build a pro football career, he has something much more important he's building in Haiti.
Football is what I do, but it's not who I am. This ministry, these kids are my life.
Nelson, along with his 2 brothers, have started the I'm Me Foundation to help create a safe community and build a future for orphans in the third world country, a task that took the family by surprise.
I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to focus my attention on the NFL, and week 1 of last season tore my ACL. About a year ago, we went to Haiti, and when you meet an orphan kid, there's something different about them. There's something about their smile, something different about their persona. When we got back home, we couldn't pretend like we didn't just see what we had seen.
It was then the 2, along with brother Daniel, took the verse John 14:18 to heart and started the foundation.
When you're feeling low, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling like nobody cares about you, that's when I will enter and I'll say, I will come to you.
The 3 of us kind of all have the same kind of feeling at the same time. We knew it wasn't by accident.
The Nelson brothers have been named guardians over 21 orphans in Haiti.
They asked me if I have kids. From now on, I would say, yes, I have 21.
And now have a 5-phase plan to build a community that can raise 64 children when all is said and done. But their plan goes much farther.
Our vision is not just for Haiti, it's not just for America. Our vision is a global vision.
All they want to do is just hold you, and they're running to you with their arms open. There's something special about that.
For most Gator fans, special will always be linked with David Nelson and a jump pass touchdown that secured a national championship. But thanks to David, Patrick, and Daniel Nelson, special is in the smile of their children whose lives are just beginning. Cassidy Hill, WCJB, TV20 Sports.